Hey guys, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Alex. Welcome back to the Dead Lounge podcast.
Today we're talking about YouTube. Such a fun subject.
Uh,
Or-
it can be. It depends.
The YouTube is bizarre. Because I remember when it was, new and, it was, first, really rising in popularity. And it's so different now.
See,
And just-
I don't know. Growing up, I always got my videos, everywhere but YouTube. Because I didn't really understand how it worked. I was going to Break.com. I was going to, eBums World.
Did you ever go to Albino Black Sheep?
Yes.
That was, my favorite site pre-YouTube.
Mine was Miniclip back when they actually had animations and stuff.
Miniclip was great
Because
too.
now it's just little flash games, but back when it had animations, oh my god! I think that's how I found Foamy the Squirrel was through Miniclip.
Yeah, but I feel like YouTube kind of changed the game as far as online video, because it was it used to be just flash animations and
Yeah,
stick figure fighting.
there
and,
there were a few sites
And,
that would pay people for their animations and stuff like that, or pay people for their content, but
Mm-hmm.
they were so small and insignificant. I feel once YouTube started giving more money towards people, that's when things went from oh, this is just a neat thing to do. I can be silly and post something online. Now it's I can post something and I'm posting it specifically to YouTube.
Yeah, and YouTube is where online video became much more personality based. With I think I know a lot of modern YouTube, the way people make their videos is all inspired by Zay Frank.
Yeah.
And his early stuff really, really. I never watched a lot of Zay Frank. I watch a lot of people now who were very inspired by Zay Frank.
Yeah, a lot of
But,
comedians that I watch on YouTube always quote Zay Frank as yeah, that's what inspired me to go to the channel. I never knew about him until freshman year of college. That was the first time.
I knew about him earlier than that because I started watching YouTube maybe 2007-ish is when I got really into YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
2006, 2007, somewhere in there. And 2007 is when the Vlogbrothers started their Brotherhood 2.0 thing, and I heard about Zay Frank through them because they were also very inspired by Zay Frank as far
Right.
as how they formatted their videos and all of that. That was John Green had a thing for a while where he kept his eyes wide open, didn't really blink at all because he that's what Zay Frank did and he really liked it, and so he integrated it into his early videos.
See, it's funny watching people in early videos trying to copy other people.
Yeah.
And then slowly they'll discover their own personality, but
But you kind of I don't know, it's kind of helpful to copy someone for a while, or just find different formats that you like, not be a 100% imitation, but find styles that you like and just try this and see what works and what doesn't work. That's really helpful for finding your own actual identity.
yeah, I mean for a lot of stuff, I always planned to do that, but I get so nervous in the moment of is this gonna come across how I want it to? It probably won't, so I better not do it. When we started with Let's Plays and stuff, the people that I kind of wanted to be were Cry and Dodger, and I wanted to be a mix between the two because
I always really liked Cry and just the way, I don't know, his manner of speaking is just
it's so chill.
And it makes the funny bits in his videos so much funnier just because of how low key he is.
Right. It's just very, very, very low energy, and then suddenly just loses his shit, and it's amazing to watch. And then there's Dodger, who's just goofy from Jump Street, but
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of mix the two together, especially when playing something that had lots of voices and stuff that we had to talk over, and I dropped that so hard, like especially in I think it was Ocarina of Time when we were playing that, and there were all these different characters and different voices. I
Right.
tried to do voices, and then I just felt silly because like, A, I was the only one doing like voices, and B, like I don't know if the voices are good. Like in my head they work. In my head they're different. I don't know if they come across that way though.
Yeah, that's voices are really hard. I'm not. We've talked before. I'm not good at voices, but like it's really hard to judge until you actually like go back and listen yourself. Like
Right.
if like you portrayed something the way you wanted to, because it's really hard like in the moment in your head to be like, yeah, this is what I sound like. This is how I'm saying this, like, and I'm doing it well. Like it's difficult to do that, and it takes time to
Yeah.
like figure out what works. Once again.
Yeah, but bringing it around full circle. I'm just impatient.
I don't know, but I have a lot of the YouTubers that I watch now. I'm not too up on like modern YouTubers, like your Rice Gums and your Jake Pauls and like all that. But like a lot of the YouTubers that I watch, and a lot of that's just because I'm 24 years old and I'm not their target demographic.
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of the YouTubers that I watch are YouTubers that I discovered like way back when that I still watch. So like the Vlog Brothers and Dan is Not on Fire, and or he's Dan Howell now. Sorry, he's rebranded. Don't want to disrespect the rebrand, but I still watch Dan and Phil, and I like.
See, I
Like the newest YouTubers that I watch are probably Markiplier and Jacksepticeye.
and I remember when you started watching them.
Yeah.
I remember when you started watching Let's Plays. That was weird.
It was you. You're the one who got me into them.
I know.
And I got into like the opposite of the ones that you watched.
I know.
Except for like Cry.
That was the weirdest thing. Cause I remember like, I remember showing you. Cause it was our friend Mark who watched Jack and Markiplier,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember showing you their videos because it was like, I couldn't figure out why he liked them so much, and I showed you I showed you a video of each of them, and you're just like, yeah, I don't know, I don't know what was the big deal about that. And then the next time I saw you, you were like binge watching their stuff.
Well, I think what got me with like Mark, I started oh my gosh, what was the series that I watched? Why did I just say gosh?
Oh gosh, oh jolly, golly,
Golly gee willikers.
golly gee, that's it. I was gonna say jolly gee. What the fuck? That's not a thing.
No, I think I got like really into Markiplier when I like binge watched his prop hunt videos because
Uh,
those were hysterical. And like
That's what got me into minks, into manga minks.
and then like Jack's just adorable. So like that's what drew me in for him. He's adorable. And now I'm probably more into Jack's videos than Mark's these days, but like
See,
still like him a lot.
everyone that I follow on YouTube, if I found them from YouTube, chances are I don't watch them anymore. Like a lot of Let's Play channels, like the Game Grumps, I discovered through YouTube, and I just don't watch anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But like things that I like, Foamy the Squirrel, because that used to be formatted on like the Ill Will Press website. So I would always watch that there, and then he started like he moved it from Ill Will to YouTube, and so it's like, well, I'll follow him there. Or like this new channel that I just found out, Barnaby Dixon. I didn't find out his videos of like Dab Chick and all that stuff on. I didn't find out about that through YouTube. I found out about that on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, Dab Chick. I wonder if there's more of these, or if this is just on Facebook. And he has like 2 years worth of content.
Yeah, it's so weird. I want to find new YouTubers because a lot of like Like I said, a lot of my favorite YouTubers right now are like the dinosaurs of YouTube. They've been around since it took off in like 2006, 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And like Shane Dawson's another one. He's been around forever. And like I just recently got back into him like last year. Like
there's
Philip DeFranco. He's been around forever.
See, Philip DeFranco, I was surprised to find out that he was like such a constant in the YouTube community. Because I only found out about him through the whole Toby Turner scandal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I've been a fan of Toby for years, and then that whole thing popped up, and like Philip DeFranco just kept popping up in my relateds as I was like trying to find information on like what's this Tobuscus thing that's happening.
Right.
And he was like one of the only people that was like talking about it and not just like shitting on Toby or shitting on the girl, or like he was just laying out the facts of like, all right, this is the situation, this is what's happening on both sides. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and that's what I really like about his videos. I was not a fan of him, like, back in the day. I wasn't a fan of his content. But, like, he has really won me over the last few years in particular. He's really won me over, and now I watch every video he releases, and, like...
I mean, people find their footing, you know, once you get at this for a while. Like, I mean...
Yeah, and, like, Philip DeFranco himself, like, he has admitted that he was kind of a piece of shit back then.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even with every new thing, we kind of touched on it last episode, and we touched on it again just before we started, but, like, with your friend who was watching our live streams the other day,
mm-hmm.
It was like, he acknowledged that, hey, we're a lot better than where we started from.
Right.
Which, again, we kind of fell into, like, a little bit of a groove, where before we were like, hey, let's make a Let's Play channel, even though we never played games together. Would literally just, like, turn on the game and just, like, sit there for a while.
Right.
Try to talk.
And now we've gotten a lot better at being able to just jump into games.
Yeah.
Now it's the podcast we need to learn how to jump into.
Not so much podcasts. It's like 30 seconds to 5 minutes of silence and giggling. and then it's like, okay, who's gonna start off? I've really just been letting you take the lead with that.
Yeah, because I have my, like, hey guys, which is exactly how I start my YouTube videos.
Yep. You can start it off. I'll jump in. I'd laugh too much through an introduction. I don't know how to do introductions.
I don't know how to do outros. Introductions I can do. It might take me a minute to get there, but, like, I can do it. But, like, I love a lot of people who have, like, signature outros, like Jacksepticeye. His, like, punch that like button in the face like a boss. And high fives all around. And just, like... I love that, like, signature outro that he has. And even, like, Mark has his, like, bye-bye thing.
Yeah, there's a few YouTubers who, they're fairly small channels, and, like, in the past year or two, they've all, like, almost every single one of them have tried to start a signature outro. And it's so funny, because it's like, oh, I've been watching your channel for years. And then suddenly it's like... Wait, why would you say that? Like one of the reviewers that I watch for like manga and anime and stuff like that, out of nowhere just started going, "Stay dandy, baby," at the end of every single video. And it's, that's like, awesome. Where did that come from?
That's
like,
awesome.
Like talking about One Piece, and it's like, all right, I give this chapter a 10 out of 10. It was an amazing chapter, and can't wait for the next one. And remember, stay dandy, baby. And it's like, when did you start this?
And stop that.
Or like, you can, and there's even one where it's like, you can tell he wants this to be a thing, but you can also tell that this was like such an on-the-spot moment that he just committed to.
Mm-hmm.
Where like his outro, every single video is all in all, that is all. and he says it with such like confidence that's like, yeah, I meant to say that. All in all, that is all. It's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What is
I don't know, but I like it. Like, I always felt like comforted by Emma Blackery, and just like how much. And I haven't watched her channel in like a little bit. I need to like binge and catch up.
Mm-hmm.
But like, at least as far as like I've watched, it seems like to this day she still struggles with outros. and like that brings me a lot of comfort. and, and like one of the reasons I like Dan Hell so much is because like I can relate to the awkward, like,
Right. See, I enjoy watching channels that are like very not so much awkward, but like very low budget.
Mm-hmm. Also, Phil's quirkiness. Can't forget Phil. We love Phil too.
But like some of the videos, some of the live action videos from like the Sleepy Cabin,
Mm-hmm.
especially their unboxing video, where it's clearly just like one guy holding a camera while the other guy like lazily opens a box and complains and like grumbles about what's in it. It's see, those are the videos that I find comforting. Those are the videos that are like, hey, me and my friend can pick up a camera, get a microphone, do the same shit. Like, we don't have to be the best at it. We just have to, have fun with ourselves.
Nah, I just think it's like comforting to see some of the big guys struggle too.
Yeah, which you don't really see much of anymore. It's like once they have like a
Yeah.
formula, they kind of stick to it and don't give you a behind the scenes thing.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I think I haven't been able to get into any of the new big YouTubers, is they're all like, I don't know, it's like I hear about them for the first time and they're like ultra professional millionaires who like where did you come from? Why are you making this much money already? I've never heard of you before. It's like literally the first time I had ever heard of Rice Gum was like when iDubbbz did the Content Cop.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was like, who is this person? But apparently he's a big deal. He's got a lot of money. He makes a lot of money, and like
Right.
he's this huge person. Like,
Yeah, that's
but like
part
I
of the
think I
reason.
haven't been able to get into them because of stuff like that, and like they're just automatically so pristine and untouchable. And like YouTubers back in the day were real people.
That's part of the reason why I can't get into like JonTron ever since he left the Game Grumps, because like ever since he left the Game Grumps, he tried to like make, first off, he doesn't release content regularly at all, so it's hard to like be enthusiastic about this creator who makes like a video a year.
Yeah.
But
It's
like
at the very least do a video a month, like with the odd ones out or something.
yeah,
like.
but like at the same time, his videos, like, even though he only makes like a video or two a year, each video is like more professional looking than the last. And like he had one behind the scenes video where he's like, "Oh yeah, I have a whole staff of people who help me like
Help me with my 2 videos a year.
who do like they do the lighting and they help me write the comedy and blah 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 and help me do all this stuff." It's like, you have a whole
If you have a whole staff,
you
of
have a
people.
whole crew and you only make like one thing a year. How do you pay them? Like, how can you afford to work with all these people and yet you don't make anything?
Mm-hmm.
It boggles my mind, and it's like it's hard for me to like want to watch his stuff when each video is like, I feel like it's more and more disconnected from like why I liked him in the first place.
Right.
Like watching someone when they're smaller and it's a thing where like some of it I can forgive, like with someone like Dodger, where Dodger went from doing Let's Plays on her own to being like a news host for Polaris
Mm-hmm.
to then going back to her old shit to just, you know, solo let's plays and live streams and stuff like that. I can excuse the jump in quality because, like, okay, she started working for this company, learned a thing or two, and then applied some of it to her own stuff. Like, it's still not like, it's not like the Achievement Hunters quality where they have like a jillion editors and like a bunch of people and a bunch of content that they're doing every single day and always trying to like up the ante and stuff like that. But it's like, oh, she now has like a proper microphone instead of like a USB one, and she uses an interface and like has the equipment, but not the crew behind it to like
Right.
do everything for her.
So the things like, I wish more of the big YouTubers could be like Carrie Hope Fletcher. I love her. She's another person. She's been around for a long time, but she's never been able to like really make it. Like, she's a big YouTuber, but she like is not one of the ones who's getting like millions of views on every video and like, but like, and I'm not saying she's a millionaire because I don't know how much money she makes because she's not a dickhead who brags about her salary all the time, but like,
See, I actually like that when certain YouTubers like explain how much they make.
yeah, there's a difference between explaining how much you make
and
and bragging about it.
True, true.
But like, she makes a lot of content. She like uploads almost every day. I don't know. Sometimes she misses every once in a while, but she has like her acting career outside of that. She's a wonderful West End actress, and like she's so successful and does all these wonderful things, but she never seems like anything but like a girl
Mm-hmm.
who is making videos and just is loving what she's doing. And I miss that in big YouTubers. I miss that feeling that like, this is also a person. This is an attainable thing, like
Yeah.
that real human beings can do and have, and like,
Yeah, and that's part of why I like watching reaction channels, like specifically like anime reaction channels, but other reaction channels too, because it's like this is just someone or some people sitting in a room reacting to something that they like.
mm-hmm.
As long as they actually have reactions and aren't just like blank facing the camera.
Right.
That happens.
People who just
but...
sit there with like completely straight face, no emotion, no like words or anything, not even like an explanation at the end of the video for how they felt about it. It's just like, hi, I'm this person, I'm reacting to this. Sit there in silence with a blank face the whole video. All right, that was my reaction. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, it's like, unless you're just a god or a goddess, no one wants to just look at your face blankly
Yeah.
as you stare at a screen.
But I do like a few reaction channels. I feel like you would like these guys if you haven't seen them already. What is it? It's like Lost in Vegas or something like that. They're two guys that like, they react to music most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like, the big thing that they've been doing is they're both like hip hop fans, and they're like stuff, and they've been reacting a lot to metal and rock music, and people will like give them recommendations, and they'll listen to the songs, and they actually like sit there and like analyze the music and the lyrics and like really go in depth on their opinions and like all that, and it's really cool and really interesting, and like, I've never seen a react channel that really is as good as they are at what they do. I have others that I like, but they're awesome.
Yeah, lately I've been
I
watching
hope
a
I
lot
got
of
that name of their channel right.
I've been watching a lot of reaction channels of like people reacting to comedians.
Mm-hmm.
Because I enjoy people laughing. I enjoy people enjoying things.
Right.
Like, that's the big thing in terms of like reaction channels. It's like, if you're not enjoying, even if you don't enjoy it, if you're not like reacting to it, it's not really a reaction video.
Yeah, those one of the things that I like about the Lost in Vegas guys is like they really get into it. They don't let the fact that like this isn't really the genre that they listen to, like they don't sit there and they're like, no, this is stupid, we hate rock, we like this stuff. They really try to get into it, and they have a lot of things that they get so into it, and they really like go into like why they appreciate the musicality or like all this kind of stuff. And I like watching people have fun, honestly.
Yeah.
Like if you look like you're honestly and genuinely enjoying yourself, I'm probably also enjoying your video.
Yeah, that's why I always enjoy like Dodger's videos when she has like Cryon or Jesse or Crindor or any combination of those guys where it's like, you know, Jesse and Crindor or
And like Mark's videos with Mark Blyer, his videos with his friends are like almost always my favorites on his channel.
yeah, because it's just they're just
Like-
having fun, hanging out, doing stuff. It's great. I did come to a sad realization, and I'm still saddened by this. Like scrolling through, you know, right now I'm going through like the channels that I'm subscribed to. Because I was thinking about asking like, hey, what are your like top 5 YouTubers? And then I'm going through it, and it's like, I would never be able to answer that question because, like, every YouTuber that I like, they don't make content anymore, or they don't make content that like is worth watching anymore. In my opinion,
Thomas Sanders, he was on Vine for a while, but like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
newer on YouTube. But I really, really like his YouTube channel. He's like the only like person who went from Vine to YouTube that I really enjoy his channel. He's someone that I recommend. Because he's just a little ray of sunshine and like...
yeah, like with the exception of the Achievement Hunters, which they're never gonna stop making content unless the internet explodes. Because that's the thing, they were making content before YouTube was a thing. Then YouTube blew up, and they just moved all their content from their website, from the Rooster Teeth website, to YouTube. And now they're just kind of doing everything, where they're streaming, they're doing YouTube, they're making shows, they're making movies, they're doing literally everything. They're not gonna stop. I don't even count them anymore at this point.
I had a thing. I'm going through my subscriptions now. I had a thing where I realized, like, I used to watch BuzzFeed sometimes, and then I realized why I sometimes watched them when Sophia Nygaard left, and I just followed her to her own channel and stopped watching BuzzFeed entirely.
I did the same thing with
Because she's fun. Like, I don't give a damn about makeup or fashion or whatever, but I can watch her make videos about it, like, all the time.
I did a similar thing with Amy Dallin. I think she was with Geek and Sandry. She did a thing called, like, Talking Comics. Where she would, like, interview somebody, like, related to the comic.
Right.
So she did one with, like, the, Avatar The Last Airbender comics, and she, like, interviewed the voice actor for Zuko. And they did, like, Tai Chi and stuff. Like, it's like an interview, and she does something with them related to the comic.
That's really cool.
And it was a really cool idea. And then like they did like a final episode of Talking Comics, and I found out she had her own YouTube channel where she was gonna like try to continue like talking about comics. She posted like a couple of videos and then just disappeared. And like every time she makes a video, it's like, hey, I'm working on this other project. Be sure to look out for you know, videos of that. And they just never come. And then there'll be another video of like, hey, videos to that thing are coming soon, and I'm doing this. And it just never comes. But now she's back with Geek and Sandry doing, like, other shit. So, that's cool or whatever, I just don't watch that stuff. You know, every YouTuber that I followed that I, like, loved, they don't do anything anymore. Like, Cry barely makes any YouTube videos. primarily streams. Like, I get notifications every single time he streams, and it's like, if he does post a video, it's to say, hey, I'm streaming right now. Daughter doesn't post anything, she just streams.
Passion of the Nerd tries.
Yeah.
He gives a very strong effort. I like him a lot.
Yeah. I like watching his streams. Him
Yeah.
and his friends.
I know he's been streaming a lot lately.
They've been mostly like Patreon streams, but he did stream the other day and it like immediately got taken down. Which means it'll probably go up on his second channel. But yeah, everybody that I follow doesn't make content. Like, the only ones that I follow now that regularly make content are like review channels or like
The One Piece live reactors and
yeah. There's one channel that's like a Game of Thrones channel who she makes content all the time on like theories and like history, comparing the book to the show and all this stuff. But she has a Game of Thrones podcast. So she's always working on Game of Thrones content. So even if she does run out, she can just upload her podcast to her YouTube channel at that point. Like, she's never not gonna have something to do.
Right.
But everybody else, like, some of them I get it. Some of them, like Stamper, he's a voice actor. He has work, he has other things that he does. I can understand that.
I would totally understand if Carrie Hope Fletcher disappeared from YouTube, but I'm really glad she doesn't. Because she's busy, but she still manages to commit and just makes everyone love her more.
Yeah, everyone else is like... There's one YouTuber who I liked it at first when he started doing this, but I feel like... And this is a weird tangent. I feel like he's kind of missed the mark because Tomska. Loved watching Tomska, and then
He's a lot of fun.
Then he made like he has his own a personal channel, which at first was like a behind the scenes channel, and then it turned into like a vlogging channel.
Let's talk about Dark Squidge.
Yeah. And then he started using Dark Squidge as like a means to vent to the audience of like, I have this problem, I'm going through this, here's some info on depression, or here's some, like, stuff about anxiety and blah, blah, blah. And then he just kind of stuck with that. Like, he wasn't really making anything with Tomska. He wasn't really doing anything else, like, at least that we knew of. He probably has work doing other stuff, but for the most part, as far as everything on YouTube, you don't see anything. But on Dark Squidge, it's like, hey, here's this video where I talk about suicidal tendencies. And here's this video where I talk about, like, crippling anxiety. And here's this video when I talk about, like, the darkest place that my depression's ever gotten me. And it's like, I would have appreciated that more had I been going through those things when he posted them. Cause there's a moment with every artist, YouTuber, hip-hop artist, hip-hop artist, rapper, rock star, whatever, opera singer, whoever, actor, actress, whatever the fuck. There's a moment where the moment they're honest about what's going on in their life, it makes you respect them a lot more. But then you run into the issue where people will see that and be like, oh, if I talk about this, people react in a positive way and they call me brave and they call me, all these nice things. So maybe that's what I should either, like, champion, or maybe that should be the thing that I always go for and I always talk about, because that's always going to be a thing in people's lives. And it's like, at some point this doesn't help.
Right.
Like, at some point it's just you talking about this and getting it out in the open, and it's you venting, which is a perfectly healthy thing to do. But when people go to you to seek, a distraction, relief, enjoyment, whatever, that's not gonna help.
Yeah, and for some people it does help to like go and like see their favorite content creator talk about going through similar things. Then there's people like for me it doesn't help listening to like everyone go into like so much detail constantly just talking about their depression and stuff. Like I'm going to go back to Dan Howell.
Go for it.
He made a video recently about his experience with depression. And it was an amazing video. Like, everyone should check it out. I like have so much respect for him for opening up the way he did and like really talking about what he was going through. But that's not all he talks about anymore. like well, he did that, and it watching his channel hasn't become exhausting because that's the only topic that's ever talked about.
And that's kind of what I mean by like at some
like it
point
gets
you can't.
emotionally draining at some point.
Yeah, because I mean even being around the same people who are going through what you're going through, it's like you want them to succeed. You want to help them because you know what it's like to go through those same things. But like at the same time, being around that person so much doesn't. You can't negate that feeling 100% of the time by putting yourself in a room with someone feeling the same thing. Like, there's that moment of, like, camaraderie. You're not alone in this. You understand. But when every time you go back, it's, like, the same thing. You're not helping yourself. You might be helping them. You might be giving them that outlet. But, like, are you getting anything from it? And some people might. But some people might not. Like,
right.
Like, again, when Markiplier opens up about, you know, things that we've been talking about a lot of, like, Let's Players and stuff like that, but that's...
I think those are, like, that's, like, the type of channel that we have the most in common with, like, as far as the content that we watch.
Because that's just the content that we make. I don't feel like there's a lot of...
Like, we don't watch the same Let's Players, but we both watch Let's Players.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I watch a lot more vlogging channels than you do, and, like,
I watch a lot of cover channels. That's my thing. I don't watch many vloggers. I have a couple.
I go through phases.
I have a couple
like,
of vloggers.
Like, I go through phases where, like, I'll be watching, like, nothing but Let's Plays for a while. And then I get into, like, vlogs again, and I catch up on everything the vlog channels that I'm subscribed to have been doing. And then I'm like, oh, spooky videos. I'm gonna marathon Haley Reese. Or, like, and... sometimes I just want to watch reaction videos, so I do that. And, like, right now my thing, I've gotten really into animation videos, so I've been watching a lot of, like, I've been marathoning basically The Odd Ones Out and Jaden Animations a lot. And, like, and, like, I'm sure after this I'm gonna find something else to, like, go back to, or another kind of video entirely to watch.
I've been finding lots of cover things. But, no. Anyway, to finish point, it's like... When Markiplier, like, opens up and talks about something that he's going through, that's one thing. But if that was all of his content, that would be another.
Right.
That's kind of what I mean with like Tomscow, where it's like the majority of his content on, like, Dark Squidge, like, he doesn't really upload on Tomscow anymore. When he does upload on Dark Squidge, it's either like a highlight reel of the stuff that he did the last week, which I think he doesn't do that anymore. I don't remember. Or it's a video talking about why he can't do something. So it's like, I can't do this because I've been feeling depressed, or I can't do this because I've been feeling anxious, or I'm going through this, or I'm going through that. And it's like, it would have been comforting if this wasn't the only thing he posted about.
And, like, honestly, if that's the content that, like, he wants to make, then, like, good on him.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, you have to make what, like, helps you, and, like, maybe that helps him.
It's just
But
for
like,
for fans
you
going
as
from
a viewer are allowed to like feel like it's kind of exhausting and like
I
take a step back from it.
I just mean from like for fans going from Astiff movie to depression and anxiety, like that is a leap. that is a leap that everybody took and he's stuck with. That's my big thing. I don't mean to like rail on people who talk about depression and things like that because it's an important topic and it's like
Astiff movie, great classic like
Yeah.
classic content that like
love Astiff movie, the fucking Laser Collection.
yeah.
I've been rewatching a lot of like his short films that he makes, especially Decked.
Do you remember what's the channel called that they did like all those animations, all those like really weird animations like Charlie the Unicorn and like
Film Cow.
Film Cow. Remember Film Cow?
I love Film Cow.
They were great. I don't know if they're still doing stuff.
They
but,
are still
like,
they are still doing
I
stuff.
haven't watched them in years.
They
but
are still doing stuff. It's not as good.
They were great. Like back in the day.
Yeah, especially I binge watched
So-
them the other week. Especially Stanley.
Stanley.
Here's Stanley.
Stanley's real nice.
He's real nice. Love Stanley. Oh my god, Film Co was amazing. The fucking marshmallow people. Oh my god! I'm so bored.
A lot of those old animations, like not even just Film Cow, but a lot of those old animations, like the early 2000s, were just
That's
A+.
what I spent my morning doing. Like I was watching Contemplating Reiko, which was just brutal. I loved it. So bloody.
the one I could never get into was why can I not remember?
Was it Happy Tree Friends?
Happy Tree Friends.
Ha!
I could never get into Happy Tree Friends. I didn't get it, and I was like,
It was nothing to get. It was just fucking mindless violence.
I didn't get why like that was such a thing. Like I don't really have a problem with violence, but like
Excessive.
right, this is just excessive.
I don't know. For me, it was like I never
And
saw
Fall Out
anything
Boy
like
did
that.
a video with Happy Tree Friends. and,
Yeah,
like-
Carpal Tunnel of Love. It was great.
It was a weird time.
Yeah, see,
Llamas with Hats got really, really weird, but it was so good for a while.
yeah, especially when Paul left, it got really weird.
It got real dark, real weird.
See, again, I was watching. Throat got dry suddenly. Fuck. All right. I was watching more stuff on like Stick Page, like there's the Killing Spree series. There was Madness Interactive.
What was the thing? It was just like stick figure battles or something like, and like people would make it with like Pivot, and I actually downloaded Pivot onto my computer. Like I got Pivot and downloaded it onto my computer because I wanted to make those kinds of videos, and like I made one and never uploaded it and like stuff, but like they were so much fun, and like Pivot was really fun.
They're cool to watch.
Really tedious, but it was really fun.
They're cool to watch. There's a few that, you know, I can't remember their names off the top of my head because there's so many. Because they're stick figures. They all kind of look the same.
It was the little like animation versus creator videos.
Yeah, animation versus
like,
creator.
Those were great.
I think they still make those every once in a while. No, but on the early stuff, it was like, for me, the ones that had the most influence on me were like Foamy the Squirrel, Contemplating Reiko, and Cyrac or Cyriac, because his
Do you
animations
remember
were.
Salad Fingers?
I do remember Salad Fingers. I never got into Salad Fingers, but I watched them. Anything on Newgrounds.
Yeah.
Although my thing with Newgrounds was like all the 18 and up stuff because I was that kid.
See, I was always like, I was that kid who was paranoid because my parents genuinely like monitored everything I did on the internet and like did that thing where like they could get like reports of like everything that has been like viewed on this computer and like
I went to all the worst websites. There was one website that was so fucking sketchy, and that was my go-to. Like my parents at some point banned me from going to Newgrounds, and I found a site even worse called Starter Up Steve. It was so bad. It was absolutely terrible. It like Starter Up Steve was basically this like the web page was completely blank, and you had like 3 links you could click on. It was just this black page with blue links that said games, videos, and blog.
mm-hmm.
If you click games, it opened up an entirely new window. And it was just another black page with the title of the game and just a huge list of other games. And you would click on that and it would open up another window with the game that you clicked on. And it would do the same thing for videos. If you went to the video list, it would be like, all right, click video, new window, the video that you clicked on would play. And then if you clicked on blog, it was like a porn blog. And it was like really probably illegal shit. That's how I got banned from the computer for a few days. Because I showed my sister that site. And my sister was the one who got me like caught anytime I had one of those like adult sites that I would go to, like Newgrounds or Starter Up Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would show her something and then she would like show her friends but would leave the page up. Like she wouldn't X out of anything. So my parents would come up, see it, and it's like, oh, well, she's logged into Alex's account, so Alex must be the one who was looking at this stuff. Which, I mean, to be fair,
should have just stopped showing your sister stuff.
I did. I did. Now I only show her things, like, while I'm there. She'll have to go and search for it on her own.
That was another good, like, pre-YouTube thing. It's Homestar Runner. Did you ever watch that?
I never got into it. I never knew about it.
Homestar Runner.
I never knew about it until our buddy Gabe showed me, like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I never knew about it until
huge.
Like super recently.
Like Homestar Runner was huge.
Never knew about it until like stupidly recently. I don't know. This turned into like a video or an early video conversation.
Yeah. And a like an early video and like YouTube sucks now.
I mean,
I feel like
does.
every other week there's like a new like pretty boy multimillionaire with like millions of subscribers that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And like I don't understand where they keep coming from. Like, are they being grown in a lab and just like that's like Google has like a little like lab specifically for like growing new YouTubers and
maybe that's why YouTube is failing, because they're not like making money versus their clone output. Like they just have too many clones and not enough money to pay them. But see, that's the weird thing about YouTube is like people are still making so much money off of it, and yet like its algorithm is hurting so many people that it makes it impossible to like find anything at all. And like it's making it impossible for people who are already like middle of the tier and lower to do anything. And like so many of them are the people that I watch, and so many of them have just abandoned ship. It's like a lot of the cover artists that I watch either don't put anything on YouTube anymore, or it's like once in a blue moon. A lot of the Let's Players that I watch have either stopped or they just stream,
Mm-hmm.
or they just like occasionally play with another friend that's a YouTuber. Like Zero Doxy, I used to love watching Zero Doxy's videos because she used to do stuff with Minx, and then it's like, oh, followed her to her own channel. Now she doesn't do anything there. I don't see her in like streams with Minx or anything like that. It's like every once in a while she'll pop up, and like a lot of the Let's Players that I watch just don't do shit anymore at all. It's sad. Like
Yeah, it's a bad time for Let's Players and just YouTubers in general.
yeah, I just rewatch a lot of content. Like I think the person that I can rely on the most to upload stuff, which is gonna be really sad, that's not like a reaction channel. Passion of the Nerd.
It's a great channel.
He uploads more frequently than like almost every one of the other YouTubers that I follow.
I think of the people that I'm like really into, the person who uploads like the least frequently is probably Dan. But like that's also made up for by how frequently probably Phil too. I think he uploads a little more often than Dan, but like that's made up for by how frequently they upload on their gaming channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the thing that they seem to be paying the most attention to right now.
Right. I don't know.
That was an interesting trend for a while. Like vloggers starting Let's Play channels. Like the only one that I can think of that actually stuck was Dan and Phil Games.
Dude, everybody tried to start. Everybody's tried to start a gaming channel at one point, and it was like, so if, dude, Foamy tried to start a gaming channel. That was weird. Like it was like a Foamy gaming thing or Foamy Let's Plays, and then it was just like Jim, like the guy that makes Foamy. It was like him doing Let's Plays, and then he just stopped. It's now he just like does group chats. Or like live streams and he just like talks or draws or something. It's so weird. I want it to change. I want it to like be profitable again. Like not in terms of like money, but in terms of like people seeing your content. Like
Right.
Like no one can watch it if no one can see it.
Yeah, that like nobody knows how the algorithm works. Like how nobody knows how to make their video known. Nobody knows how to make their video seen. Even like back in December, Lily Singh, Superwoman, like made a whole video about how it's like she is very grateful to YouTube and she loves everything, but like it's a little frustrating to have no idea how your algorithm works. And like Superwoman doesn't know what's going on. And she's one of the biggest creators out there.
Mm-hmm.
And like
yeah, no one knows, and it's really sad. And it doesn't help that like the people that I follow are either people who don't know how it works, so they're just kind of gonna not necessarily give up on making content, but give up on YouTube and are just like abandoning ship to like Twitch or like Patreon or what is it for Let's Players? I only know like one Let's Player that uses this, but Game Wisp, which is basically Patreon but specifically for Let's Players. Or they're too big to really give a fuck.
right.
Like Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter, because they don't, or Polaris, because they don't need you at this point. They don't need YouTube to do anything.
Yeah.
Because Polaris is owned by Disney, so even if YouTube crumbles, Polaris is just gonna move to their website.
Right.
Even if YouTube crumbles, then Achievement Hunter and Let's Play and
Rooster Teeth has been had a website that like
they just literally every one of their new videos starts with an advertisement to their website saying, "Hey, remember we got a website? We just updated it. Looks brand new. It works." Like they're gonna be fine. The big behemoths are gonna be fine. The people that'll suffer are these multimillionaire faces who never had a job in their life.
And they really don't do anything but YouTube. Like, like that's the thing. Like, the smartest people on the platform are the ones who branch out and make sure that they have their fingers in like other platforms and other sources of income than YouTube.
Well, it's like a lot of the Let's Players that I follow, with the exception of like Cry, because I don't know what the fuck Cry does outside of YouTube.
I don't think anybody knows
No.
except him. Maybe the people who know him personally.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But like they all have like, you know it's other things, but it's like the cover artists, they're making music for video games in their spare time or something like that.
Carrie Fletcher, she's a successful actress, so she's fine.
Like Dodger just started making coffee, which is weird to think about. It makes sense if you follow her old like vlogs, but you know, yeah, she produces coffee now.
Philip DeFranco, at the very least, like, I know he's got other stuff like going on besides just YouTube, but at the very least, like on YouTube, he can get good sponsorships without YouTube support.
That's really all you can hope for these days, is like if you do make it somewhere, you know, maybe you'll get sponsored by someone that actually, you know, lets you do what you want to do on your own.
I love, like, Shane Dawson is very not advertiser friendly, according to YouTube, but he's been getting sponsorships just, like, left and right lately.
Well, that's the thing with advertiser friendly stuff. It was never an issue until like recently. It's like it's a mix between this like hypersensitive culture and like some of these ads being really, really terrible, and some of these YouTube channels being really, really terrible. It's if you make terrible content, you know, you depending on the level of terrible it is, if it's like just you being rude and vulgar and stuff like that,
Right.
that's one thing. If it's you being like hurtful and racist and like discriminatory or whatever, that's a different thing. You should, you know, get something taken away at that point. But like,
you have a dead body in the thumbnail of your video. Like,
knowing where to draw the line is a thing on all sides. Like whether you're a sponsor, the platform, or the creator, knowing where to draw the line is important. But like, as the platform has done, slapping a huge like do not cross thing on everything, but only enforcing it on everybody smaller than your big money cows.
yeah, and like even completely innocent channels are being affected by this because they made a coming out video and then
Yeah,
not advertiser friendly.
No, because you're talking about sexuality, and you might be saying something bad about it. So without reviewing it, without vetting it like they're supposed to, we're just gonna
they just demonetize and like
slap a demonetization on there and call it a day. That's kind of where we are right now. Of like,
I'm kind of waiting for someone to pop up with like a new platform, like other than like Twitch, because Twitch is like great for Let's Players. I know Made You Look has been using it for like makeup artist stuff, but like it's not going to be the best option for everybody.
well,
I'm waiting for like someone to come out with like a new platform that people like en masse start jumping ship to.
well, I think it might be Twitch, and I think that only because like, Jim Mathers, the guy that or Jonathan Mathers, the guy that makes Foamy the Squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
He's been posting. Twitch has integrated this new little feature where not only can you like record your stream so people can like go back and watch them. But they've been setting it up so that you can actually like upload videos to Twitch instead of like having them uploaded to YouTube or something like that. So once they work the kinks out with that, that might be, you know, the alternative where, hey, you have live streams, you have like, you know, group chats and things like that. And if you want, you can just upload your video straight there. That might be the alternative.
Right.
Because it seems like both formats have tried copying each other. Because like YouTube now is implementing like YouTube Gaming and YouTube Live and all this stuff. And Twitch is like, we already do all that other stuff. Let's just try to implement video uploads. And right now, Twitch is the most viable thing, so...
Yeah. So maybe, as long as Twitch doesn't do something to piss everyone off even more than YouTube has, then...
I don't know. I know Facebook tried to hop in on that, but now Facebook is...
Facebook made an adorable attempt at jumping onto the online video bandwagon.
Yeah. And they paid some quality people to jump on board with them. I forget what they're like a huge YouTube channel, a huge gaming YouTube channel that like they're exclusively making content for Facebook now. I wonder how that's going.
Probably not well. Just gonna throw that out there. Yeah, we're over an hour now.
Yeah,
so...
on that note.
So, miss old YouTube, like YouTube, hate YouTube. Everyone might jump ship to Twitch.
Or something.
And who knows, YouTube might fix itself and everyone can stay put. But
things are weird right now.
Only time will tell.
Yeah. So, hopefully you enjoyed the podcast where we rambled about the internet.
Online video, in particular. It wasn't just the internet as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, what can
we
you really...
We stayed pretty on point with that one.
But pretty on point. What can you really say about the internet that doesn't involve online video these days? So, hopefully you enjoyed. Don't forget to rate the video and all that stuff. Follow us wherever we do streams most Sundays. Yeah, I think that's good.
Hopefully, join us next time.
Yeah, well...
One day we'll figure out outros.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a signature outro. You know? Stay dandy, baby.
Bye.